We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second and long. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 11 more on that one and another first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
They'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Niners are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Lance to throw it. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A beautiful fake. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession. Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They'll look to throw. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal. Myers' kick is good. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, Lance. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing his Lance on third down. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 21 yards there on third down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this down near the 25. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. McCaffrey will score. Touchdown, 49ers. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Taken in at the 22. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, look at repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind.
To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the 49ers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Push him back. Push him back.
Looking to throw. And he's going to go down again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Able to slither by. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Lance. Now Lance throws the interception, his third. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Seahawks are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And now off to the races down the right side. The 20. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Huge play for the defense. What a turn of events. They get the fumble return for a touchdown. The last play of the first half.
And how about the defense providing a score, amping up not just themselves, but the entire team as they head into the locker room.
And does that change the locker room speech at half?
There shouldn't be much of a speech necessary now. They've got things going their way.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Lance now on first down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On play action, Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. And Lance now to throw. Completes it to Samuel. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2? Maybe even 3 more plays.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Mitchell will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
2nd and 6. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He'll drop to throw. And Walker has it. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. 2nd and 4. And he can't find a receiver, and And he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
60 red. 60 red.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Back to throw again. Forced out to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Samson Abuka drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. It'll be a gain of 5, and 3rd and 1 now.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Ready. Black. 95. No blue.
Lance and company going on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. A give for Walker running right. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. 62 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. They'll go with a keeper. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. Myers' kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Lance back to throw. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Up the gut, McCaffrey. Room here to run. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Lance looking to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Now Lance. Open man is Ayuk, complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here's Lance. This will be caught. It's Samuel. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And they'll remain down by 2. And right now, just absolute anguish on that visiting sideline.
It came down to one kick, a chance to steal one on the road. But you could feel the pressure, couldn't you? And the pressure enveloped him on that one. Forced a missed kick.
And the crowd went wild.
Here we go. Here we go.
So the victory here for Seattle. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Seahawks, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.